Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest. Ryker, we're live reacting to NBA free agency, all of the news that's going down. There's been so many reports about the Toronto Raptors coming into this year's free agency. Obviously, Kyle Lowry is the first domino to fall. And Ryker, we already have news. We tried to get out there for right at 7:30, but a few audio things getting started.
6 Eastern, Ben. 6 Eastern.
I'm talking Newfoundland time here, but so we had a couple of reports immediately drop off as we started, so apologize for this live stream. Firstly, if the audio's a little bit not crispy, let us know, we'll adjust it on the fly. But the first report that I saw, Ryker, the first Woj bomb to go down, Lonzo Ball signed a 4-year $85 million contract with the Chicago Bulls. What's your initial reaction to that? I just did a video on courtside, but apparently a sign-in trade going down, but it ended up with Chicago to the Bulls. We'll see what added stuff is happening to that. But you know, we talked about this a bit. What's your initial reaction to that over there?
You said it ended with Chicago to the Bulls.
It's hecticness right now, Ryker.
Lonzo Ball to the Chicago Bulls, it's expected, and that's a fantastic fit for the team. Again, pair him alongside Zach LaVine and Vucevic and Patrick Williams, or whatever his name, Williams, coming back from injury. That's a nice group, and that's a good amount of money for Lonzo. Honestly, could he even be worth more? I don't know, but the Raptors, they're certainly not going to pay him that much money. So happy for him. This is the Raptors Digest, right?
Yeah, we're on the Raptors Digest. Right?
Okay, perfect. Happy for him, but this is a Raptors pod, so whatever. We don't need to go into too much detail. I don't see the Bulls becoming necessarily competitors in the East, so it doesn't shake my world or anything, Ben.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Bulls. It definitely makes them better. I think they're going to be in the playoffs next season, even though you called it with Vucevic, saying that they'll be not that great, but you know, they weren't great to end off the season last year, but I think with Lonzo Ball, they'll be a bit better. Patrick Williams, 1 more year of development. But we also have some other news. We're going to just react to everything coming in. Our second team, the Mavericks Digest, they've re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr. at a, let's see what this number's at. I don't have the number in front of me, but they've re-signed him and Boban Marjanovic. 2 of those guys are back. What are your initial reactions to the Mavericks acquiring those players? Gotta keep keep the Woj bombs coming. Gotta
keep them coming. We knew a couple days ago that the Mavs were going to re-sign Boban. We weren't sure necessarily about Tim Hardaway Jr. because
4-year, $72 million
for Tim Hardaway.
Yeah,
I guess he could still get flipped, but I would assume that they want him. Again, they cleared their cap space to re-sign him by trading away Josh Richardson, which he wasn't a terrific fit for that team anyways. So they're still looking at DeMar DeRozan. They're still looking at potentially Kyle Lowry. So we'll see what happens there. But in a sign and trade deal with Kyle Lowry to the Mavs, I would have wanted Tim Hardaway Jr. or Kristaps Porzingis. Hot take. I know people don't like him, but I guess that could still happen. But I would assume if they're re-signing him, they're probably going to keep him around on the roster.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. Even though they're still locked in on Kyle Lowry, they're still locked in on DeMar DeRozan. I don't know if they'll be able to get both with re-signing Hardaway, but maybe you could get weird with cap stuff for that squad. But maybe with a Porzingis off the books, you could get both of them, but then they'd be very thin on the front lines unless they have a lot of faith in Moses Brown. What?
Because of Brown, yeah. Brown, Boban, Maxi Kleber. Who else? Dwight Powell.
Jimmy getting... Ooh, apparently we have a Supermax. That's what people are saying in the chat. I feel bad if we're on our phones the whole time we're live stream, but apparently Jimmy Butler. Yes, we have another. This one actually looks like a Shams bomb. I didn't get enough time with work and videos to get out the Shams segment, but breaking 5-time All-Star Jimmy Butler is expected to agree to a maximum contract extension with the Miami Heat when the league opens up August 6th. Okay, so they've discussed it. Butler's max contract is expected to be 4 years, $184 million, Ryker. Whoo! That's the Miami Heat. That's a team that's been talked about with Kyle Lowry. What are your thoughts on that signing right there?
That's an overpay for Jimmy Butler. I'm super low on Jimmy Butler being the number 1 option. And if you're going to pay Kyle Lowry at 3 years, $90 million. All of your money is wrapped up in Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and Kyle Lowry. And Duncan Robinson, I don't know what the dollar was They extended the qualifying offer, made him an RFA, but the money situation, I know they had cap space, but yeah, you would have hoped you could negotiate a better contract with Jimmy Butler, but he took him to the finals 2 years ago. So I guess obviously he deserves it on paper, but he's not that guy.
Yeah. It is what it is. If you're the Miami Heat, you have to bring back your main star. You have to bring back your main guy. But the Heat, they have a lot of things being talked about. Rango Fadango saying that he's hearing Duncan Robinson for Kyle Lowry. So that's in our chat. That's in our chat.
I'd take that. I would take Duncan Robinson for Kyle Lowry. Get a legit shooter at the 2 spot off the bench. That'd be perfect.
Riker, we have some trade news. Trade news. Czech Republic legend Thomas Satoransky and Garrett Temple and a second-round pick is going to the New Orleans Pelicans for Lonzo Ball. So it ended up being a trade. Couple guys going back there. So to repeat it, it's Thomas Satoransky and Garrett Temple and a second-round pick going back to New Orleans. I think it's a nice pickup.
That's a terrible return.
Well, it's not a straight up.
You're saying it's nice?
Well, it's nice that they're going to get something. There's rumors earlier that they were going to get Devontae Graham, but Satoransky, I think, is an underrated player. Woj was talking a couple weeks ago how he's a guy that's highly coveted amongst teams that are trying to contend. He's been sneaky good for the Chicago Bulls. Garrett Temple's always obviously been a 3-and-D guy his entire career. Second-round pick. It's better than nothing, I guess, for Lonzo Ball.
Better than nothing, but they now have a very, very much point guard problem over in New Orleans. They need to fill that, and I don't know if Spencer Dinwiddie, who can't shoot a 3 and is not nearly the facilitator that Lonzo is the solution for them. But interesting, like you said, good to get some return. If Lonzo was Kyle Lowry and the Raptors were the New Orleans Pelicans, I would be frustrated about that return, but hey, we'll see what happens.
Well, apparently, people are saying in the chat, Kyle Lowry signed a 3-year contract with the Heat. Mr. Bro is saying that. J.E. Skeets is saying on Twitter, the GROAT gone. So, is this official?
Just straight sign, no sign and trade?
I don't know. There's no news. There's no specific. I'm only looking at Woj and Champs. I'm not getting my Twitter feed cluttered with other people. But let us know in the comment section.
Yeah, I'm seeing new Woj 31 seconds ago. Free agent Alec Burks signed a 3-year $30 million to stay with the New York Knicks.
Ooh, and then following that, the Woj bombs are coming. People are shouting out the Woj bombs. It's Woj versus Shams right now. This is Chaos Riker, but one potential Toronto Raptors target, Nerlens Noel, returning to the New York Knicks on a 3-year, $32 million deal. So there goes one of our centers, Riker.
Way too much for him, though. I did not want to pay him $11 million, almost $11 million a year. So again, what was the stat line? 6 points per game as their starting center when Mitchell Robinson went down for injury. I know he was top 3 in the NBA for blocks per game, but man, if your center doesn't even have touch, doesn't even get offensive rebounds and putbacks, what are you paying him $10 million for? So I'm glad the Raptors avoided that one.
Yeah, Fanfiction Pop-Tart is confirming it. So we have a bunch of people in the chat saying it's
Ben. Jared Allen news. Somebody else off the table. Refresh your feed. That's a gut wrench.
No. Probably. Oh my God. It's an Aaron Baines pylon. It's a Woj bomb happening, guys. Jared Allen's
the worst
gone.
News of the day. Yep.
That is sad. We still haven't seen the Kyle Lowry news just yet, but
Mark Stein.
Yep.
So Mark Stein 10 minutes ago said commitments are expected in Miami from Kyle Lowry via sign and trade and Duncan Robinson, league sources say. So we're getting a little bit of official news to say Duncan Robinson's going to be the kicker, which that's much better than Precious Achiuwa.
Wait, Raptors get Duncan Robinson?
Well, yeah, who else would get him?
He re-signs with the Heat. I saw a couple hours earlier that he's going to re-sign with the Heat.
Oh, okay. Then I read that wrong. So they're saying
goodness.
Miami's going to get Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson back. All right, that's terrible news. So the bad news keeps rolling in. Jared Allen agreed to 5-year, $100 million. What is that math? 20 million. Ben, 20 million. Come on. We could have paid him 20 million. We said we didn't want to pay him 25 a year. Well, we didn't want to pay 25. 22 a year, 22 and a half. to
What
stay
are we
with the
doing,
Cavaliers.
Masai? What are we doing?
Okay. Don't lose faith yet.
I'm
Don't
not
lose
losing
faith yet. But $20 million a year for 5 years, that's an easy contract to pay for an up-and-coming 22-year-old center with a ton of promise. That's a gut wrench right there. And especially to go and sign along to play alongside of Evan Mobley. I don't know what the fit is there. I'm not sure what the direction is. I don't know what the incentivization was for Jared Allen when he wanted a bigger role when he was leaving the Brooklyn Nets. So we'll see how it all plays out, Ben. Any new news? This is crazy.
Well, we
Big
do have a super chat. Metasolar saying bad moves by Miami, in my opinion. They just took a beating for the ages from Milwaukee, and there's no way they're beating Brooklyn. What are they doing? I don't know. I think they're trying to maximize the Jimmy Butler era. They don't like being bad, so I guess I see where we're coming from, Metasolar, and I could see this really blowing up in Miami's face, but it's tough. I'm still not seeing official reports. Tell us in the comment section where Danny's saying it's official as well in the chat, but tell us where to see the Kyle Lowry news. That's we need to spot this so we can officially send our.
I'm pulling up a ton of links here now. I'm pulling out a bunch of stuff, so we'll see.
Wow, Riker. Wow.
Yep.
Kelly Olynyk, another center on the market, has signed a 3-year, $37 million deal with the Detroit Pistons. Whew.
Now, this is a guy you wouldn't want on the Raptors. Yeah. Great player. He looked basically like Magic Johnson when he went over to the Rockets. He looked incredible, but he's a guy that doesn't give you a tremendous amount on defense, and that's really what the Raptors need from their center position. I get it. It's an asset, guy that can shoot, guy that can dribble a little bit. He can definitely shoot the three, not super consistent, but don't feel bad about losing this one because he's not a defense guy. He's not an athletic guy, and we need a rebounder and a defender.
Yeah. What are the Toronto Raptors going to do, Riker? We might have to pull out some Gold Star awards on the squad if we're going to miss out on all these centers. We gotta do something here. I don't know. The Jared Allen one has me sad. We didn't even sign an offer sheet with us. He waited. Were we not going to give him $20 million per year?
Yes, we easily give him $20 million per year. Okay, Shams, this is from the beginning or 4 minutes ago.
Yep.
JaMychal Green, 2 year 17 to return to the Nuggets. I saw him linked to the Los Angeles Lakers. Maybe was considering taking a lot less money to be a role player on that team, but he's going to stick it out with the Nuggets. Jamal Murray is going to come back from injury, and Joker, and they're a fun team to watch in the West, right? They're probably second favorite team outside of the Dallas Mavericks. So
yeah, and we have a super chat, Riker, and Champion Gold Gaming. I don't trust Masai. That guy is a bum. That's what we're saying. You can't lose faith in Masai.
No slander yet. Let's see how it plays out before the slander starts.
We're giving a gold star for missing out on Jared Allen because both you and I wanted Jared Allen, especially if it's only $20 million. We could have gave him a couple more million per year. And this is with Kelly Olynyk getting that type of money, Nerlens Noel getting paid a lot. Riker, what does this mean for the center market? Right? What?
Well, we knew that this is the case. We knew that this was the case because there's a limited amount of usable centers in the NBA today, right? There's a very limited amount. There's a ton of point guards. There's a shortage, a surplus of point guards, a shortage of centers, to use economic terms. Mike Conley, he's re-signed to the Utah Jazz, 3 year, $68 million. Right. I agree. Yeah. I don't want to, if there's news, cut me off, but I don't want to pay this money that we're seeing go to Kelly Olynyk, Jared Allen. I don't want to pay that to Rashawn Holmes. I don't want to pay that, but now I'm starting to feel like that's what's going to happen.
I'm seeing the chat saying that he's looking for about $20 million. We have Jonathan Mack saying hop into the stinky pinky bandwagon, ladies and gents. If
it's about as locked in that Kyle Lowry is signed traded to the Heat, then who are we trading for stinky pinky? Fred?
No.
OG. That's not happening.
We'll trade you the rights to Aaron Baines. Shout out our guy Baines. But Riker, Conley staying. Yeah. The one interesting thing I saw before we went live, before we sort of got everything, did a hectic start to this. Shams did come out and say that apparently John Collins and the Atlanta Hawks are not close on a contract extension. He's a guy that's highly, highly sought after across the NBA after his performance in the Eastern Conference playoffs. He's a big man. Maybe we make a run at John Collins because he's more of a natural.
But undersized. He's more of a power forward.
But I'd rather give him big money than Rashawn Holmes and try him at center.
Yeah, but we're compromising a lot on defense at this point. Let me pull up his stats. So he's 6'9", 235. He'd basically be the same as Birch, Gillespie, more athletic than both of them, obviously, and has played majority of his career as a starter for the Atlanta Hawks, averaging about 17 points per game. A lot of that on the lob from Trae Young, but it seemed like he did develop a bit of a midi. If you watched the playoff series for the Hawks, then he can put points up. Promising thing about John Collins, Ben, he shot 40% the last 2 years in a row from three on 3 attempts per game, 3.5 attempts per game. So he'd come in able to shoot from the perimeter. Not a terrible idea, but he wants a max. So a little bit out of our cap room.
Yeah, no, for sure. And just peep in the chat. People, I saw a funny one. Aaron Mammon saying, put that stinky in my pinky. You know, we're gonna ride that train until he retires. Zach Collins, here he comes, as Matt Hogg, and you know, Riker, I don't know.
I'm surprised all this news. No official Lowry reports, though. I've been prodding away, but I can't see anything to legitimately confirm it.
Yeah, well, it looks like there's a little pause in tweets right now. We had a wave to start off. We got a couple super chats, Riker. Champion Gold Gaming again is roasting Siakam. Daily reminder, Siakam's a scrub, guys. Stop hating on the Siakam. But then from Ola Steiket, I hope I got that right. I apologize. I'll give myself the pronunciation. But $20 super chat. Greetings from Norway. We appreciate everyone from around the world checking us out on the live free agents, but I hope you're enjoying. Raptors fans, I guess, or just NBA fans around the world. Is Norway more north than, I guess, well, definitely in Toronto?
Oh, it's way more north. We're Toronto dips down in Canada, but Norway is like.
Is it more north than Newfoundland? Yeah,
definitely.
Get that. Biombo to the Raptors?
No.
Is that fake news? Is that fake news? Deep.
That's definitely fake news. You love Biombo so much, they're trolling you, Ben, for sure.
If they're trolling, I don't see anything deep. I'm gonna be sad if this is fake news. But you know, appreciate the super chat from Norway. We love the love from around the world. But guys, you know, there's no more news, no more in the past minute. For sure, there's a lot for us to actually dive into. We're trying to stay on our phones, stay on top of it, keep peeping the chats while it's going. I think it's fair to put the phone down and have one of us go at a time, Riker. But what are your feelings about any big surprises starting off from today?
Well, let's break it down. Mm-hmm. So Lonzo Ball is no surprise. Tim Hardaway Jr., they said that the trade for Richardson was the clear cap space for Hardaway Jr. We just got excited that maybe it was the clear cap space for Lowry and DeMar, but there was no official report to say that, to suggest that. So those aren't surprises. Lonzo Ball, not a surprise. I think I just said that. Boban, not a surprise. The big one, Jared Allen, but they did say that the Cleveland Cavaliers were the front runners, but Cleveland was the most threatened by Toronto. So it was never proposed that Toronto was the number one destination for Jared Allen, but it is disappointing that a couple of centers have now already been locked up. Again, I don't want Nerlens Noel at $11 million per year, and I don't want Kelly Olynyk, period, because it doesn't give you the defense, but Jared Allen, that's a tough pill to swallow, and we're still looking at a depleted center pool for free agency, not having done anything yet. And what's particularly surprising is Lowry was supposed to be the first guy to go, and no official reports yet. So that's where I'm at, Ben. Do you have any other thoughts or opposing thoughts?
Yeah, I'm disappointed in not acquiring a center just yet. Ojuwaze Shingal, I hope I pronounced that correctly, saying in the chat that we have acquired Mitchell Robinson. So hopefully more people feed on that wave. That's not fake news. We get baited by the fake news during these live chats, but hopefully that's true. But Riker, yes, as you mentioned, the center is what we want. You and I really want to acquire a big man. We played the Kazoos all season because we didn't have a true center. And yes, we got Scotty Barnes in the draft. Mobley didn't fall to us, so we couldn't get that positional need at the top of the draft, and we're happy with the Barnes pick. But really, if you want to contend, we have a tremendous roster right now. But if you don't have a big man to take the brunt of the defense throughout the course of a regular season, your team gets run down, injured, and you just suck. And that's what happened this year. Sure, you can run the small ball to end games and the playoffs and these sorts of things, but you need a true big man. And maybe Rashawn Holmes at $20 million. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. So it's a tough situation. We have a super chat, Riker, as well from K Cedar. I'm happy the Raptors and who they drafted, but in the second round, I was really hoping we'd take Charles Bassey, 7-footer. That's who we need at the moment. I appreciate the take. I have no idea who Charles Bassey is, but 7-footer, it's a good point. We probably could have taken someone as a center in the second round, even though you and I are pretty high on our second round picks.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on her. I think that, what's his name? I can't even remember. Not Delano Banton, the other guy. I think he'll probably
Dave
come
Johnson.
in and actually be, yeah.
That's
Dave
another
Johnson.
video we're sitting on.
Oh, darn, we haven't even released it yet.
Yeah.
He'll probably come in, have a roster role, be a player if it looks like he's going to be a 3-and-D guy, but I agree, the center thing, it's been nagging. We thought that it would be solved maybe overly optimistically immediately as soon as free agency opened, but that hasn't been the case yet, which is why the anxiety is building up at this point. Interesting, Shams just tweeted out, NBA has set the salary cap for this season at $112 million with the hard cap at $136 million. So a team like the Lakers, who have $40 million, and $33 million. Yeah, they have two 40s, LeBron and Westbrook, and 33 or 35 with AD. So they're sitting at $125 million. So they only have $11 million left until the hard cap. Yeah. So doesn't leave them with a lot of flexibility, but you could look at the Toronto Raptors. I should pull up their payroll right now, but to sign a guy like Rashawn Holmes at $20 million, that's tough, right? That's tricky. And it's the same thing we've been breaking down for a bit to bring in Goran Dragic. I got excited. I misread the Duncan Robinson thing. I would have gave him $20 million probably, but to bring in Dragic and Achua, not convinced. So
Riker,
still plenty of time.
How does this feel right here?
You got to bring it over the other way.
Yeah. It's Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler all together. It's not really focused, but I'm seeing that. My mom sent me that Photoshop of the Miami Heat, so it's tough. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, especially with the Lakers, as you brought up, having that cap space adjusted and all these things. There's rumors that Oladipo might sign there on the minimum, which would be just cheese. I know Oladipo's injured and all that, but that'd be a ridiculous signing at a minimum, right? The Melo, the Rudy Gays of the world. I don't think DeMar DeRozan's going to go there. There was a rumor floating around that he might go to LA on I guess it would have to be a minimum at this point, but it's the Lakers are a team that's going to be confusing to look at. And the Heat, they're going to have a pretty big payroll as well if they're bringing back Duncan Robinson as well. So it's pretty interesting, but Champion Gold Gaming, he's back in the super chat. He's been a legend here today, saying sign and trade with the Heat Mavs for Tingus Pingus. Riker, is it looking now that Jared Allen and now that Nerlens Noel gone off the board, what are the odds we trade for Tingus Pingus?
I mean, I hope that they're relatively high, but it doesn't look like it. There's been nothing whatsoever to link right Kristaps Porzingis to the Toronto Raptors, and it seems like it's a done deal based on early reporting, early rumors, early league sources on Kyle Lowry to the Miami Heat. So we're kind of just sitting, waiting for the news to break, what the official terms are of the sign and trade. Probably what we've been hearing from the beginning, Goran Dragic and Precious Achiuwa, which less than optimal, but you got to put on your hat that you used when you said Lonzo Ball, the return for the Pelicans and Satoransky, Garrett Temple in a second. At least you get value. So if all we get back is Dragic and Achiuwa, same hat, at least you get value. Just a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, not a lot of movement in this draft. Lowry, Lonzo are the two big ones. And there's an official report from Tim Reynolds. Kyle Lowry prefers to sign a 3-year deal with no options and what will become a sign and trade that sends him to the Miami Heat. I don't know if that's the report people are talking about, but that doesn't sound official. The word prefers and, Woj saying
there was one from Stein or whatever his name is.
I gave him a creep. I didn't see anything. Maybe, I'm trying to get the management creep in the chat, seeing everything that's going down. But...
yeah, I have about 6 tabs open here. I'm refreshing. Nothing new seems to be popping up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, at least we're getting a sign and trade.
It could be a nice time to look at who's available in the free agent market. So let me pull up a list and sort of rattle through the...
Yeah, and while you do
rattle through who's available,
I'll sound off on all the names that have been re-signed to their teams or signed elsewhere. The first big one was Lonzo Ball going to the Chicago Bulls, a 4-year, $85 million deal. Now the Pelicans can still match that. So if they flame out or don't acquire a point guard, which they missed out on Kyle Lowry, then I could see them really matching that offer. So that's a big one there, Lonzo Ball. Then we had Mike Conley remaining with his team in Utah, signing a pretty big contract over there. Kyle Lowry is reportedly going to Miami in a sign and trade. We don't know if that's official yet, but it's close enough to official. We had Jarrett Allen, big prime Raptors target, re-signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers for a 5-year, $20 million per year contract. The Knicks, they re-signed Nerlens Noel and Alec Burks on pretty substantial deals. Still a lot of guys to be had on the free agent market, Riker. I don't know if you have that picked up. Am I missing any big names that we talked? Kelly Olynyk onto the Pistons. So lots of crazy stuff. And Riker, we have 937 people here in the chat. So before you sound off on all the players that are available, everyone give the video a little like, subscribe to the channel. We got that like spike, baby. Right. So we're getting that cooking. But and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 20K. You guys have been great subscribing.
We're
and all
close.
These things.
We're close now.
We always forget to ask. So during the live streams, we've been trying it. And before you sound off, we do have one super chat saying from CD, Steady, maybe y'all should get a live Twitter feed on here. My spidey senses are going off. Lowry won't be a Raptor in a couple minutes, hours. And your spidey senses are looking right.
We're trusting you guys to keep us updated, but Ben's keeps refreshing the feed.
Yep.
Ben, we need some crowd participation here because I'm about to rattle off in list of basically the best available free agents still remaining on the market. Some of them restricted, some of them unrestricted. We'll go through it rapid fire, but guys, if anything jumps out to you, sound off in the comment section. So we'll kind of go through them quickly. Kawhi Leonard looks like he declined his option to pick up a bringer.
Like the video if you want Kawhi to come home.
That could be polarized. That could be polarized because of the way that he left.
But
yeah. But if you do want him, but it seems like he declined his $36 million so that he could then be eligible for $39 million per year. Chris Paul, it seemed like he's locked in. John Collins is the interesting one. He could be the big fish center, but I haven't heard any reports tying him to the Toronto Raptors. Also, I don't know if we want to give a max contract to this guy, but he is an undersized center who played phenomenally well for the Atlanta Hawks and has shot over the past 2 seasons 40% from 3 on 3.5 attempts per game. That's ideal. Small ball, little bit of defense, decent rebounding. Ben, how likely percentage are we going to sign John Collins?
15%, maybe
15.
15. I'll give it a little juice. But Paul Blunt's in the chat saying maybe we can get John Sally instead of John Collins. I think if we threw $1 million at John Sally, we'd for sure be able to pick him up.
I don't even know who that is.
It's an OG player, but we do have another report. It's not. I should probably have Chris Haynes' note he's on too. But free agent guard Cameron Payne, former Toronto Raptor 905er.
Gotta get that left-hand shooting.
Has agreed to re-sign with the Phoenix Suns on a 3-year, $19 million deal. You got the shot form going there, Riker. Do you think that's overpay for Cameron Payne?
That's my left-hand shot form. What was the price? What was the contract?
$19 million for 3 years.
Okay. What is that math? Less than 7, more than 6, between 6 and 7.
Yeah, I think that's a good deal.
Interesting.
That's great. Yeah,
that's a good deal because he was actually an impact player for them. So. And we cut him from the Raptors.
Yeah, we cut him. This guy was in the NBA Finals. Maybe he could have helped us, but he was pretty bad for us, apparently. That was during the era when people said he's not an NBA player during a couple practices or something. So I'm happy Cameron Payne got a bit of bread. Deserves
And
it.
he had like the cool handshake stuff with Russell Westbrook. Next biggest, Mike Conley struck from the list.
Is that the happiest moment of tonight's pod? The Cameron Payne signing? Yeah. I'll play the balloons. We'll get the balloons rocking for Cameron Payne. Until we see what we get back in return for Kyle Lowry, we'll play the balloons for Cameron Payne. But,
when we're happy for somebody signing somewhere. Ben, the big fish, the guy that we need to know what happens to Lowry before he makes his decision. Mr. DeMar DeRozan, no movement, no word, no rumors. You're making a face. Bomb? Woj bomb?
Play the segment. TJ McConnell. Guess 4 years. Guess what TJ McConnell's getting paid?
He's getting re-signed to the Indiana Pacers. I'm going to say $10 million a year, $40 million contract.
35. So roughly around there.
Close.
You're close. You're close. Is that an overpay for him? Is that a...
I just don't get their guard situation. They have basically every guard in the NBA, it seems like, but he was a rotation player for them. He was an impact guy, so less than $10 million per year. You don't hate that for a backup point guard. So
no, it's
I'm going to keep going down through the list. Dennis Schroeder, we can just pass on him right away. Duncan Robinson, supposedly he's going to re-sign
right away. We don't need another point guard record.
What's the comment section saying? Has anything struck a nerve so far? The John Collins chat, the DeMar DeRozan. Your OnlyFans. OnlyFans.
People have been asking for that.
Ben's cooking channel.
You know, if we get this video to 1,000 likes, I'll start an OnlyFans. That's what I say. So if you want an OnlyFans or an OnlyFans, like Spike. She's from Calgary.
It's just
that OnlyFans woman.
No, I haven't creeped it yet.
Bro,
if you start an OnlyFans,
bro, you're slacking.
If you start an OnlyFans, Raptors news in ASMR.
Yo, is Ali in this chat? Ali's been asking me to get an ASMR video on this.
No, I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it right now. Norman Powell, I think he'll probably re-sign with the Trailblazers, but we broke down that he could be a target for the New York Knicks. And then 13th on this list that I'm seeing in terms of best available free agents and what we do need to spend more time talking about. Let's break down his stats, break down his career. Richaun Holmes, he's 13th listed. And it seems more likely now that the Toronto Raptors might give him serious money based on how much money's been paid to Kelly Olynyk, 67 3-year, to Nerlens Noel, 33 3-year, and Jared Allen, 100 million 5-year. So he could be right around that 15 to 20 million mark. That's probably an overpay. Ben, what's your initial thoughts on Richaun Holmes?
It's the defense, it hurts you. The lack of 3-point shooting, it hurts you. I don't know if I like him better than Khem Birch. Khem Birch showed this promising stroke from beyond the 3-point line. He's more mobile. He's got that length. He blocks shots. I know his box score isn't as impressive. His body of work overall isn't as impressive, but it's tough. And just so I don't miss this super chat, Champion Gold Gaming, pray for Luis Scola OnlyFans. That's a guy that I could see rocking an OnlyFans.
Yo, Luis Scola is a baller for Argentina, 40 years old, still out there. Him and Pau Gasol.
The chat is saying we're getting Aaron Baines back. That's what the chat is saying. Please. No, I won't.
You have to cut yourself off from whatever you're about to say there. Let me talk about this.
Aaron Baines for his work. For his effort, for him trying.
Hey, the Tank Commander, and we got Scotty Barnes. We got the 4th pick in the NBA draft.
People are saying this might not be fake news. This might not be fake news.
All right, get on the Aaron Baines, who has currently a knee injury or an ACL injury. Who we were paying $7 million a year to be our Tank Commander.
We got a little Snoop saying Newfoundland. Shout out Newfoundland. But maybe we go after Bobby Portis, Riker. NBA champion Bobby Portis. Can we run him? He was a small ball center for that Milwaukee Bucks team as they made their playoff runs.
I know. I think he wants to re-sign, though.
But they don't have the money. They can only pay him $7 million, Riker. If we come in with 15.
Let's park Bobby Portis.
Okay.
Let's talk about Richaun Holmes for a second more.
Okay. Yep.
Just because I'm thinking it could legitimately happen that this is the guy that we signed. So I want to brace people for what to expect. And what to expect with Richaun Holmes is it was a very slow build up in his career. He's been in the league for 6 seasons now, and he's steadily sort of creeping up the points per game, creeping up the efficiency. His most efficient year, 64% from the field, basically 0 3-pointers attempted per game, 80% from the free throw line. That's promising. News?
Little update. Sorry to cut you off. We always get a little something while we're talking about Richaun Holmes, but Lowry put on his story, he put on his Instagram story, he tweeted a picture of it, Miami Heat times Kyle Lowry. Oh my goodness, okay, just as I'm saying that, Ryker, just as I'm saying that.
Oh, I'm bracing myself.
Just as I'm saying that. It's official.
Don't hurt me, Ben. What is it?
3-year deal from Woj. 3-year deal and a sign and trade for Kyle Lowry. It's Wojed. It's Woj and Shams. Woj beat Shams by 4 seconds.
What are we getting back, Ben?
There's no trades back, but it's official. He's on the Miami Heat.
So he just signed them. We don't even get a sign and trade.
Sign and trade. It's sign and trade. Woj, I'm refreshing the Woj.
Oh my God, you almost killed me. My heart almost stopped, Ben.
No.
My heart almost stopped.
Okay, while we wait for Woj and see what's coming back, what's official. We got 1,000 people in this chat. Everyone,
probably stop.
We gotta give respect to the Raptors' growth. The guy, the NBA champion, he's officially the greatest Raptor of all time. The what?
Yeah. You got his jersey up?
I got his jersey up. I got the jersey up.
I just give that a bit of adoration.
You know,
bit of love,
let's
bit of
give
praise.
Everyone a little bow. My back's turned. The microphone. A little bow to Kyle Lowry. He will forever be enshrined as the Toronto Raptors GOAT.
Should he get a statue?
He gets a statue. If he doesn't get a statue, we're disrespecting the legend. So everyone in the chat, give a W for just Kyle Lowry's career.
Comment W.
Kyle Lowry's career.
Comment W for Kyle Lowry's career.
As he goes away.
What are we getting in return? What are we getting in return?
Put the phone down. I'm creeping it now, Ryker. I'm creeping it now.
So breaking news. Woj again. I'm stealing your thunder. Duncan Robinson, 5-year, $90 million re-signing. What's that per year? It's less than 20. It's about 18. 18.
That's
2 times
about
5.
what he was getting.
It's exactly 18.
Yeah.
Exactly $18 million per year. That's probably more than we'd want to pay Duncan Robinson, but I'd still greatly accept them in a sign and trade. That's obviously not going to happen now. Tyler Hero, maybe he could be the guy that's coming over, but I highly doubt it. No word yet, Ben? No word on our return?
No words on our return. As you said, the Duncan Robinson, host of the Long Shot Pod, has a great 5-year.
Hilarious plug.
That's what they brought up. No word on what we're getting back yet from Woj. We got the W's in the chat going for Kyle Lowry, so you guys are the best. Like the video for Kyle Lowry too. We'll get on that wave as well. But Kawhi's not the growth. Get out of here.
We might as well go back to Trae Young Supermax extension, 5-year, $170 to $201 million range. Duncan Robinson just signed. Wow. Kyle Lowry sign and trade terms TBD. What?
Torrey Craig has agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Pacers. He plays for the Phoenix Suns. He is a big piece to that squad for the Suns. So Pacers,
I guess they didn't want to
moves. Pacers,
Will Barton, 2-year, $32 million, going to stay with the Nuggets.
Yep. My mom's sending me the Lowry news. Mom, you got to be watching the live, but come on.
Yeah. So. Okay, so we're still in the dark here with what we're going to get in return in this sign and trade. I'm sweating it out. I didn't pick my best optimal sweater for being stressed. I didn't have good foresight on this one.
People couldn't see that on the some people saw on the court side. It's looking
good.
We
get the texture. We get that texture. That's nice. It's nice. I had a big shopping spree, Hudson Bay Co. Thought I had a gift card. Turns out they couldn't accept screenshots of the electronic gift card, so I just had to pay outright for everything. But hey. It is what it is. Then I'm going to take a second.
For Riker's wardrobe.
Dude, this is like some cashmere. It's great. It's great. Okay. Back to Richaun Holmes while we have maybe a lull in the action.
We got to keep talking about Richaun Holmes because the news keeps coming in whenever we bring him up.
6 years in the NBA, most efficient this season. He started all 61 games that he played. He shot 64% from the field, 80% free throw shooter. You don't have a Hack-a-Shaq or a Hack-a-Holmes type deal if you do end up bringing him in. 14 points per game. That's a career best. He shot or had 12 points per game last season. But as your starting center, he's only pulling in 8 rebounds per game and block and a half. I mean, that's pretty good, right? So he's up there. He's contesting. But that said, $20 million for 14 points per game. How much of an improvement is he from Khem Birch? He's about 2 inches taller. He is a couple of pounds heavier. But is he the guy? It's looking like he probably will be. So brace yourselves, Raptors fans, if Richaun Holmes is the guy that's signed. Should we be happy or should we not? Ben, how do we react if the news broke right now that we picked up Richaun Holmes? Is it positive feeling or is it negative feeling? What
people are saying he's going to make $20 million, Riker. That's what they're saying. So that would be
negative feeling.
If we can get Khem Birch at Nerlens Noel's money or less, right? I'd much rather have him because he's more mobile, he plays defense, and he has a promising 3-point shot, and he's Canadian. Because you got to.
But who are we holding out for? Say we pay Khem Birch $10 million per year. You re-sign Gillespie at $4 or $5 million per year. That's our starting center, undersized. We don't have anybody to stack up well against Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who are other empowering bigs in the East. Those are the two that
Scotty Barnes can do it, Riker. He can do it.
I need to slow my chat down because I'm just getting too worked up right now, Ben. I need a mental breather. I need to do some deep breathing here.
Let's get it.
How many people we have in the chat? Are they saying anything interesting?
1,136 people. Definitely breaking our record. So like this video if you're about. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road, Riker, to 20K subscribers. So we're almost there. Kyle Lowry's been driving that car while he's still, because I'm sure he hasn't officially signed on the dotted line yet. Let's see if we can get to 20K subs by the time Kyle Lowry's here. And working out the math, we can get to 20,000 if everyone in this chat subscribes. So definitely got to say that there. You see any news? Apparently Doug McDermott is gone to the Spurs, unless we've been duped by the fake news.
We could give a quick rundown of what's happened so far. We're maybe at another point where we're waiting a minute or two before news comes in. Yep. Trae Young discussing a Supermax. Miami Heat just did a Supermax. Jared Allen, that's the big disappointing news, that he took the 5-year, $100 million. Money we would have been willing to pay if Ben and I were executives of the Raptors to Jared Allen, but he accepted it for whatever reason to play alongside tandem Evan Mobley, Jared Allen in the front court. Don't know how that makes sense. Don't know how it's going to work, but whatever. Duncan Robinson, he won't be included in the sign and trade. He's going back to Miami. Lonzo Ball, sign and trade with the Bulls. Return Satoransky, Garrett Temple, 2nd round pick. Kyle Lowry still up in the air. Tim Hardaway Jr., we thought might be sign and trade with Kyle Lowry, but he re-signed with the Mavericks. Mike Conley re-signed to Utah. Doug McDermott, it is confirmed. 3-year, $42 million, San Antonio Spurs.
$42 million.
Whew, that's a ton. That's gross. San Antonio Spurs are going in the wrong direction. I apologize if there's any Spurs fans.
Yeah.
They suck.
Yeah.
They suck. It's time for Greg Popovich to retire 2 seasons ago, so we could have ended with a much better legacy, but money talks. Kelly Olynyk, gross overpay by Detroit, but no surprise there because they're one of the worst franchises in the NBA with signing random players.
Riker, did you announce how much the Chris Paul deal is? Because that's a fresh Woj bomb. That's a fresh Woj
I haven't announced it. Let's hear it.
4 years, guess how much money?
4 years.
4 years for a 37-year-old.
4 years. He's 30. He's a year older than Lowry?
I think so.
Wow. I'm going to say he's getting $30 million a year.
4 years, 120 on the nose, right?
Wow.
On the nose.
So $30 million as a 6-foot point guard at 41 years old. Yeah. Oh my God.
And we've missed the super chat as well. We missed the super chat.
Okay.
I'm pulling it back. D-Man.
Run back.
D-Man, a legend in the super chat. He is back. Boys, great to see you again. What is going on? Are we going small ball again? Precious and Siakam at the 5. Give us a center. What happened? Gotta X out the profanity just for the quote. But D-Man, I feel I'm on the same level. I'm on the same wavelength.
Same wavelength.
We gotta get a center. We can't play small ball again. So shout out D-Man, pulling back to the super chat.
So
CD
Phoenix
saying,
must be
Lowry's
nice.
Twitter. Look at Lowry's Twitter. I'm gonna creep Lowry's Twitter.
While you do that,
Yep.
I'm just going to finish it off. There's only a
Yep.
couple more. McConnell re-signed with Indiana. Nerlens
Yep.
Noel, another overpay, $32 million 3 years, so about $11 million per year. We don't want that as a Raptors. Will Barton re-signed with the Nuggets. Alec Burks re-signed with the Knicks. Cameron Payne re-signed with the Phoenix Suns. And Torrey Craig, he signed to the Indiana Pacers, leaving the Phoenix Suns. Probably they didn't have any money after paying an exorbitant amount to Chris Paul in what we just recently heard from Ben. So that's the summary. No big surprises yet, except for disappointment on Jared Allen's side of things. Ben, any news on Kyle Lowry? What's his Twitter feed saying?
Well, nothing on the Twitter feed. I just see NFTs of him in a Raptors jersey, so we'll see how much those are. I know Josh is working on our NFTs, but okay. Apparently, Mr. Bro is saying it's official that we're getting Goran Dragic and Precious. I'm trusting Mr. Bro. He's a legend. He's a constant guy. He doesn't seem to spread fake news, but we gotta get the validation on the tweeters, so we'll see about it. But Blake Murphy just tweeted, "There's no reason to buy Dragic out. I don't know where people are getting that. No cap relief, no asset back. Raps will either find a third team for trade to keep Dragic for rotation depth, or keep Dragic and shop him at the deadline." So assuming I don't want to make it official until we get the official Woj bombs, but Riker, that's a Baines bomb. Now that you're looking at it, are you happy with that sort of return?
Okay. The biggest fear was doing the sign and trade for Dragic and not being able to sign Jared Allen. Jared Allen's off the market. He's been given the money. He's signed on the dotted line to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So there's no reason why you should feel bad about having Goran Dragic on the roster. He still has a lot to give. He's a good backup two guard. So if it ends up that we don't trade him away, and as that tweet suggested, there's no value in paying out his contract, don't feel bad about that. What we would feel bad about is not having a good center to start the NBA season, but I don't know. Still plenty of time, Ben. So
yeah, no, for sure. And it's as we wait for the official, Mr. Bro said it is Brett Siegel. I can't even find that guy's Twitter account, but I've heard that name before, so maybe you could get it as I break down the super chat. Steven Tanaka's back. Hope Raptors are looking at Malik Monk. And
yeah, Malik Monk. Ben shouted out. Give us, why would we like him, Ben? Why would we like him?
He's a shooter, baby. He's a shooter. He's a bucket getter. The big team that was supposedly in the running for Malik Monk was the Miami Heat. I don't imagine with Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson they're going to be able to pick him up. Obviously, for people that didn't watch our video yesterday, the Charlotte Hornets, they didn't extend him a qualifying offer. He didn't get much run last year. He got inconsistent run, but when he played, man, he was great. I think he'd be the perfect backup shooting guard for us if we're not sold that David Johnson can be that for this team.
Yeah, I agree, Malik Monk. But I want to just pick at Goran Dragic's stats a little bit. Only 1 year left on his deal, so you don't have to have him into a ridiculously old age. Last year, playing 39 out of 50 games as their backup point guard, he averaged 13.5 points, 37% from three, among his career high, but he seems to always be above 35% from three, and 3 rebounds, 4.5 assists per game. Tell me that that's not good backup two guard stats, right? And 25 minutes per game, that's maybe a bit rich, but that's good stats.
Well, the thing about it too, you don't buy him out, right? You don't buy him out because worst comes to worst, he's your backup shooting guard. You wait for the Paul Watsons. Well, we'll see if he develops. Right, Paul Watson's better than you can just play him over him. But, worst comes to worst, you have him throughout the whole season. You have him for the playoffs. He's an experienced veteran playoff guy. And he can come off the bench and do some solid things for you. We saw what he could do in that finals run. He's had some big moments, even back when he was playing behind Steve Nash, if you go all the way back to around then. So he's a guy that can still ball, as Riker brought up. And he's an expiring contract, so when the trade deadline comes around, if we don't sign a center, someone's on the trade market, you can use Goran Dragic to salary match. So that's a positive for bringing him in there. And we do have a super chat as well saying, don't worry, Aaron Baines is going to come out and drop 30 a game, Riker. Maybe he was saving all of his points, and that's from Lucas Peterson Brown. So appreciate the super chat, but maybe he was holding everything back for this season. But Goran Dragic, I don't think you waive him. I don't think you cut him. I think he's a guy that could fit, even though, he's a bit of a negative asset. But we were worried about bringing in Dragic because we wanted to re-sign a center, but they're all gone now. So let's just get Dragic.
Well, they're maybe not gone yet. I could still go through the list. I'm looking at NBA Twitter right now, and there's some jokes coming out, man. That's no news, but just some funnies. Free agency reporting
funnies.
Feels like
hit us with the
some funnies. NBA free agency reporting feels like a crowded action sequence in a John Wick movie. That's pretty funny. Somebody has a clip of like a Black Friday when everybody barges into Walmart. They're like the start of NBA free agency period opening. Just some classic memes. So there's some funny stuff going on right now. Ben, free agents. We talk about there's no other centers available. It's relatively true. Oh, and this list that I have, it stops at 20. I'm going to have to go back in, search up who the available centers are. I'm also going to switch out. I said earlier, I'm so nervous. The anxiety is building. We still don't know who we're getting back for Lowry, that I'm sweating through my nice sweater. I don't want to ruin it. It's white. So I'm going to step off screen, change my shirt to something a little bit lighter, and then be back in a second.
Flex the abs, Ryker. Get back here. Flex the abs. While Ryker is changed, did I miss a super chat? No, I don't believe so. But we have to talk. Mohammed Paracha, the chat's going way too fast. I don't have my contacts in to read. He's bringing up that Goran Dragic could potentially be removed to the Dallas Mavericks, which I guess could be a move as well. And that's one thing I was saying, right? It's worst comes to worst, you keep him, you have a guy that can play in the playoffs. Right, you rest them throughout most of the season. You play them a little minutes, and then if a few of your young guys they're struggling, like Gary Trent Jr., I don't think OG would, but Malachi Flynn's struggling. You have a veteran presence that you can rely upon to get you at least 20 minutes a game at solid efficiency. So Goran Dragic, I don't mind him there, and then his big contract, or even this off season, where you can make a trade with the Dallas Mavericks, who I talked about this morning as potentially wanting to reunite the Slovenian backcourt of him and Luka, which could be a really cool return. And then the Raptors, maybe they get stinky pinky if they're trying to dump Kristaps Porzingis. But I, rep the pinky. We have a couple of super chats as well. Goran Dragic's first choice would be to reroute it to the Mavs. Just reported. And how much do you think Drummond will get? So that's from I Am Bear and Kevin Lamb. We'll talk about I Am Bear's question or take first. I don't know if we missed this, Ryker, but apparently Goran Dragic. Has it been official that the Raptors are getting Dragic? Because I Am Bear saying it's his first choice to get reported, but we haven't seen Woj or any of these guys talk about this being official. So, but would you want to see Goran Dragic rerouted to the Mavs, and what could we get in return for that?
Goran Dragic rerouted to the Mavs. Again, maybe Rodney Hood could be included in that because he extended his team option choice, whether the Raptors are going to pick it up or not, until August the 3rd, so that they could be able to use him in a trade scenario. I don't know. I'm still looking at Kristaps Porzingis or maybe Maxi Kleber, somebody, potentially a big in return. Moses Brown. Put your pinkies up for Stinky Pinky. Even Moses Brown, if we could just give a couple of things just for a 7-footer back, just a guy who's not 6'9", that has promise.
Tribal Chief is saying with the super chat, would you do Dragic straight up for Dwight Powell?
Yeah, you would. Now, Dwight Powell's coming off a horrific injury as well. He's coming off ACL or Achilles or something. So don't know if you'd even get him back to start the season. It's kind of desperate.
I'm reading the chats. Ryker change it into something more comfortable. This is OnlyFans. We're both getting OnlyFans shout outs right here. They're calling out the lotion in the background, but
oh yeah. You gotta moisturize. You gotta moisturize. Listen, it's not just women. ASAP Rocky has a fashion line of moisturizers. So
guys, we got 1,300 people in this chat. First of all, we'll get a little like spike going, just because we always slack on the like spikes and spike. Let's get to 1,000 likes this video. Let's see if we can do that. We've probably already broken our record for live stream likes, but we're also on the road to 20k subscribers. So if you like the content, we've been busting it out left, right, and center for the past week, and honestly for the past 3 years. So we're trying to get to 20k, so subscribe. We always forget to ask, but Ryker, I'm going to call out the chat, the 1,300 people. Are you on the Stinky Pinky bandwagon? Yes or no? Throw it in the comment section. Throw. Is there a pinky emoji? If there is, throw a yes, a W, or an L. Throw those in the chat. But did you see any news? Did you see anything happen there?
No news. Nothing popping out. I did pull up free agent centers, so if we want to kind of rattle through that, Jared Allen gone, Nerlens Noel gone, Boban Marjanovic gone. Available still, at least I haven't heard any news on them. Cody Zeller, that's a pass for me. Pass for you. Robin Lopez, that's a pass for me. Pass for you. Daniel Tice, pass for me. Actually, I would sign him, to be fair. Tiny Tice.
We might be at that point, boys, where
for all the flack that I gave him, I would still probably sign him. Raptors one-time fan favorite, kind of. It was really Amir Johnson, but Ed Davis, probably a pass for me. Enes Kanter, no defense Kanter, pass. JaVale McGee, at this point,
give me JaVale. Give me JaVale.
Definitely sign JaVale McGee.
That's
I
what
would
we're
definitely
saying.
do it.
And
UFA unrestricted.
We have a super chat from Paul Blunt saying last super chat till he changed the Lowry logo. What Lowry logo we got? Oh, for the super chat logo. Okay, that's fair.
Because he's in it.
Yeah. He's super. He's super, you know? But I get it. I feel it. 1,000 likes for an OnlyFans. That's the vibe, guys. We're at 400 likes. We might have to start an OnlyFans, Riker.
We're nowhere near. We're not even 50% of the way. I think our most liked video ever was something like 600. So
yeah,
it'd be tough to get there. But Zach Collins, a guy whose career has been plagued by injury, no movement with him, no reports yet. We said yesterday that Raptors, maybe that could be a sneaky signing because he's probably not worth a lot of money since he hasn't played for 2 seasons basically. And he's not done enough in his career because of all of his injuries to command anything more than, a couple $1 million. So that could be a guy that I don't think he would be the answer, but it would be a nice signing that you'd feel a little bit more comfortable with maybe having Birch as your starting center, Ben.
No, I want Birch over Zach Collins, but we have.
That's what I'm saying. You'd be more comfortable with Birch as your starting center if you have Zach Collins potentially.
I'm sorry. I saw Woj in the chats for a bunch, so I gotta play the segment. I gotta play the animations. It's Raptors. It's oh my god. I keep pressing the button for Aaron Baines, but Riker.
Yeah.
3 years. Do you know how much money Lowry's gonna make?
90. Was it?
90.
90?
90 million. 90 million. Okay. Remember you
Who
and I were
are
saying,
we getting back?
Remember you and I were saying that hopefully we're inching closer to figuring out officially what we are getting back for Kyle Lowry, but 90
Still
million.
No
remember
word.
You and I were saying 20 million would be too much for Lowry for 2 years? This not out of respect, not out of he deserves it. I want him to get the bag, but
we didn't want to pay him 20 a year.
This could be a bad Miami Heat team in 2 seasons. That's
Let me tell you this. This is a bad move because this doesn't bring them anywhere near to the top, right? Mm-hmm. Having the same team plus Kyle Lowry, I don't know. I don't love it, but we'll see what happens. We're an hour in. I gotta pee. I hate to jump on and off the podcast.
We're staying on.
No
Till we find out what's happening here.
No bathroom breaks.
No,
I'm not saying I was going to cancel.
You go to the bathrooms. Yeah,
I was going to go and come back.
The Zoom.
No, I'm not logging off the Zoom. I don't mean to step off. I don't mean to step off twice in consecutive order. Also, I'm not feeling the shirt. I was roasted on the shirt change. Yeah. I was roasted on the shirt change as well. I'm self-conscious. I might put on a collar to match you so it looks a little bit more professional. Somebody said comfortable clothes. I'm not about that vibe, so it's going to be another outfit change and a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Riker's having a change.
Meltdown.
We're really rocking out here, but guys, it's been a wild free agency. Riker and I were worried that there wasn't going to be much news. Oh, I would switch to the solo graphic, but I'm not going to do it because all the animations will play at once. But a lot of stuff has really happened starting off here, and we missed out on our centers. Jared, the prime targets that we wanted as a Toronto Raptors fans were Jared Allen. Rip. Do I have any DeMar Carroll Gold Star Award goes to Jared Allen for re-signing with the Cavaliers when it's a trash franchise and Evan Mobley's there and it's a 5-year deal. He probably could have got more money with us. So that's a tough situation right there. Nerlens Noel, he got paid a bag by the New York Knicks. Raptors miss out on that. Obviously not the greatest offensive player. Kelly Olynyk gone to the Detroit Pistons. And we still don't know what we're getting back from the Miami Heat. It's looking like Precious Achiuwa. And my take for you guys is, because I've seen a lot of people high on Precious Achiuwa, a lot higher than I am. Are you guys bigger fans of Precious or Khem Birch starting at the center? Precious Achiuwa, he's a bit undersized. He's a hustler, he's a grinder, he's a young player, but I don't think that's what we really need at the center position. I think he's more of a power forward, more of a traditional guy. We have Siakam, we have Boucher, we have Freddie Gillespie who do similar things. Riker's making his way back to the chat, but I don't know if Precious Achiuwa is the guy we really need at the 5, right? Aaron Baines, obviously we were running with him last season. Okay, yeah, the shirt change number 3.
Shirt change number 3.
Gotta match this here, but Riker, I'm asking the question out to people. Who's gonna be our starting center next year? Is it Precious? Is it Birch? Who is it?
Whoa! Do we get the confirmation?
No. But I'm running under the assumption.
What's my head position at right now, Ben? I've shifted my chair spot so many times. Am I lined up?
We're kind of chilling. I have a little.
We're good. Should I tilt my computer down? Am I good?
No, I'll adjust. Yeah. CD saying.
Yeah. Here. You adjust. I'm gonna tilt it down a little bit. There we go.
Okay,
right, you adjust it from here. Adjust it from here. It's good?
Yeah.
Who would be our starting center if we had Precious Achiuwa?
Adjust it up. Yeah.
Back up this way?
Yeah, we're good. Gotta get that levelness.
Who would be the starting center if we had Khem Birch, Precious Achiuwa, Freddie Gillespie? It's going to be Khem Birch. It's going to be a guy that can shoot the 3, maybe, and you're going to have your backup being the guy that's energy, Montrezl Harrell type player. He's going to come in, basically do the exact same things as Freddie Gillespie, maybe at a better rate, maybe with some better touch, maybe with some better rebounding. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried if that's the starting backcourt 1-2.
We don't have anyone right now, right? Or maybe a trade's coming. Maybe we should get the trade talk. But we do have a super chat from D'Amaco? I don't know how to pronounce that accent. You're the Spanish guy, Riker. I'm not sure if that's Spanish. But is Masai Ujiri sticking? I'll give myself the name emoji for the Charles Barkley name issues. But Riker, that's probably our biggest free agent now at this point, especially with Kyle Lowry gone. We haven't heard word about anything. Maybe this is a part of the reason we aren't signing anyone, because we don't have official president of basketball operations. I assume his contract runs out now after this point too. He's a free agent. I think the most depressing thing we could see, the most depressing report is Masai Ujiri signing to the Wizards or something during this this live stream. But Riker, what have you heard anything on Masai?
No, I haven't heard any news. I got to start refreshing the feed again.
Yep.
It has been a very turbulent first hour. We, in a couple minutes, probably run down through everything that's happened again. If there's anybody new to the live stream right now, but not a lot of positives on Raptors side, and that kind of layers it in. We missed out on Jared Allen. We aren't going to have Duncan Robinson included in the sign and trade return for Kyle Lowry. We still don't know who we're getting back, but it seems like Lowry's side of things has been officially confirmed by Woj a couple of minutes ago. We haven't re-signed Khem Birch yet, haven't re-signed Masai Ujiri, haven't re-signed Gary Trent Jr., even though we extended qualifying offers. So they're probably waiting to see who else we pick up in that center side. DeMar DeRozan, he's obviously still waiting for Kyle Lowry's report to become official before he goes somewhere. But there's a lot of big name players left. But it's not looking great for the Raptors right now. So hopefully we start seeing some positive Raptors related news, Ben.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think the stream might be glitching a little bit, but I think we're good. Okay. But yeah, we gotta see something, Riker. We have to see something. Should we break out the conspiracy segment? Maybe Masai Ujiri, he's not re-signed and the Raptors just never make a trade ever again. Is this a possibility for the Toronto Raptors?
the Raptors never make a trade ever.
Never make us trade, never sign a player. Just wait for Masai Ujiri.
Oh, man.
Man, we have a lot of people saying Bismack Biyombo in the chat. And should I go on my Biyombo rant right now, Riker? Because I wanted him last season.
Go on your Biyombo rant.
I think he'd be a great fit. He's a culture guy. The Raptors, we've lost so many players that, were a part of that just perfect, the historic run, from 2014 to 2019 with this team. I guess you can include 2020. The Tampa Raptors were just a divvy in this probably era of Toronto Raptors basketball. You bring him in, he has the energy, he can go dunk on Dwayne Wade's of the world. You could probably get him for cheap. He's great insurance, and he can guard big people. Which is key. So I don't know. I'd like to see LeBron or Biyombo swatting LeBron James in the finals this year.
Yes. I'm kind of running through again list of centers that are still available. Mm-hmm. Andre Drummond. Should we circle back to Andre Drummond talks maybe and give him $15 or $20 million?
You're the big Drummond guy, eh?
Empty stats. There's nobody that puts up a more useless 20 and 10 consistently that does not impact the actual outcome of the game. And especially a guy that doesn't shoot free throws at a good rate, that would have the same issues playing pick and roll defense and his switchability out on the 3-point line. It's not a guy that you would want to bring in. But at this point, Ben, I'm starting to feel desperate. I've had 3 shirt changes because of the stress that I'm in right now. Doesn't seem like the Raptors are making the moves that we had hoped that they would make. Obviously, it's a two-way street because we can offer people money, but they also have to accept that money and want to come play for the Raptors. So we have to maybe give the front office the benefit of the doubt that they are still trying to make moves for us. But it's over an hour. It's about an hour and 10 minutes since free agency opened, and we haven't got any news for the Raptors to say we've brought in anybody. We only know for a fact we're losing somebody. We don't know that we're bringing anybody in. So I'm looking at Rashawn Holmes.
We have a Malika Andrews bomb. This guy a forward center. Jeff Green has signed with the Denver Nuggets, so we're missing out on another technically center.
Calling him a forward center is tough. He's a small forward, power forward, but hey, in today's NBA.
Who did you say? Denver Nuggets.
Whoa, we got audio. We got audio stuff happening. Riker, keep chatting. Chatting.
I hear it coming out of your computer.
It's getting picked up wild. We're working on the fly, guys. 1,300 people watching. Riker, is your audio coming in through here now?
All right. Is it? I don't hear it coming out of your computer.
It's good.
We're probably back.
We're back. Let us know with the audio.
Hopefully it's picking up through my actual mic and not my computer, or everything's going to be shot to heck. But Ben, JaVale McGee was the backup center or backup center on the Nuggets. If she's reporting that he's a forward center, could this suggest that they're not interested in re-engaging JaVale McGee? And could this be an indication? I mean, I'm sure he'd probably go back to the Lakers in a heartbeat, but could this be a sign that the Raptors might want to give him a couple $1 million? Because I would do it. Call me crazy, but a guy that can actually play defense.
My stream is overflowing. I think they're saying there's a lag there. Are we back here, Riker? Are we? I'm trying to do things to fix this.
All right. I don't know. You're the tech man, so.
Okay. As long as the audio's fine, the video is lagging.
Well, what's lagging?
It's just the video.
The whole thing?
Is it?
All right.
I'm not sure what's happening. The video.
I'm gonna watch it on a burner.
Okay. So the stream is good. Hopefully my computer can. There's so much trades. There's so much things happening that we gotta figure out what's going on with this here. But we have 13 people in here rocking out, and we have some people. Bringing up players, bringing up guys. Riker, should we start going into the more bottom of the barrel free agents now? Are we, we brought up Biz in this, we brought up JaVale McGee. If they're bringing in Jeff Green, they paid JaMychal Green and Jeff Green a couple bucks. He could be out of his way of Denver. There's rumors that Dwight Howard wants to go back to the LA Lakers, so maybe we could give him a few extra bucks and bring him to Toronto. Any other center names that you're interested in, Riker?
I'm watching. I'm sorry. I'm watching the feed right now. Apparently, our audio's coming in fine. I do have it pulled up. It's basically like on 0.001 FPS. It's like
Nice.
jumping from screen to screen. Not sure how we can fix this. Don't know if people are going to be extremely interested to watch when it's all chopped up like this, but we will try our best here to rectify the video quality, Ben.
Yep. But Riker, apparently we got Kendrick Nunn.
Oh, really?
That's what people are saying in the chat. That's what people are saying in the chat. Nunn and Dragic? Oh my god, that's trash. We didn't even get Precious Achua.
Is it confirmed? Should we start a new stream? I'm not liking how choppy it is right now, Ben.
Yeah, we might have to start a new stream. We'll be back momentarily, folks, with our our live stream part 2, guys. That's a
live stream part 2 coming up.
Yeah, live stream part 2 is coming up. We'll be back in 5 minutes. That's the plan. My computer is straight up overheating. You're sweating. I'm sweating too with the lights.
I'm overheating. Yeah.
We'll be back in 5 minutes just to get this lag going. Yeah, it's looking pretty tough there. We will be back in 5 minutes, folks, and then we'll be able to put out a video with the official news. So we'll put that up here. I'm gonna just